Filmsharks early podcast. Man, it's not even that early. Feels kind of early though.
A little bit.
It's Filmsharks podcast. We talk about movies, TV shows, and games. Sometimes. Anyway, yeah.
Hello.
Welcome. People on the internet. I don't even know who. Guess what? If you're watching this, if you're seeing my face right now, there's also an audio-only version of this podcast, which typically holds a lot more stuff.
Yes.
Maybe not more in depth, longer conversations that are not chopped out.
An extended look.
Extended look, I guess. Extended listen. Whatever things that Jesse decided that he didn't want to.
Whatever I decide, yeah. I just cut some stuff out.
It's all good.
For length.
It's length. Also, if you're listening to this audio only,
there's a video.
There's a video. It's like a shorter, perkier version of this this episode. So it's already dragging. So you might want to go run and do that. I don't know. Anyway, both sides have something different for the different discerning listener or viewer. So do whatever you want, or watch them both.
Yeah,
that's the best.
Yeah, just do that.
Anyway, this week we're going to be talking about film franchises that could benefit from, I don't know what we call it, a
reboot
it's essentially a soft reboot, or like a Terminator / Halloween,
the Halloween
sequel
thing.
Reboot continuation type.
We're gonna Halloween some movies.
We're gonna Halloween, yeah, or like Ghostbusters. Not the lady one, but
would
the
you
new
say
one.
Are we doing
Alien
movies that need a sequel that never got one?
Ones that we would like to see that maybe never got a sequel, or ones that are like you take, like I were talking about, the Terminator or the Halloween franchise. So we'll go at Halloween because that's easier. So they obviously had a bunch of sequels to Halloween, the original Halloween 2 and 3 doesn't really count. Yeah. It's something different, but H2O, blah, 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 all the way down. And then in the recent Rob Zombie remakes, there were 2 of those.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that. I haven't seen those, but supposedly they're not that great. But anyway, he tried to do some different stuff, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so they're like, let's do another Halloween sequel, but it's not number 2. It's now in the future. Let's skip all this other stuff in between. All these movies never happened. And that's when we get the recent 2018 Halloween.
Really?
I think it's 2018.
Oh boy. Let's find out.
Anyway, and you get older. So you get Jamie Lee Curtis in the original. You get older Jamie Lee Curtis, as an older character. Or you do that with Arnold and the other one, done an older character. Or see how they are in the future as these older characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh. And then maybe they pass on things, or so the new Ghostbusters that is coming out.
It's a reboot type thing.
It's discontinuation though. Yeah. So it's not a reboot like the 2016 one was, or whatever it was.
It's getting rid of the middle ones and doing a continuation of.
Yes. So it can either wipe out some of the middle stuff, or it can just be, now this 30 years later or whatever, right?
Yes.
So Ghostbusters, the new one, is like. The first 2 what was that? First 2 happened. First 2 happened, and then you got your what's this one called? Resurrection. Does this have a name? What's this new Ghostbusters movie called?
Just Ghostbusters. I thought Afterlife.
Afterlife, yeah. So then I'll have all the older characters, and it's like, oh, this is what they're doing now, or whatever. Anyway.
So to sum up, we're basically just gonna look at movie franchises we want reboots or sequels to.
Yeah, franchises specifically, and then we could do
second chance for a franchise.
Yeah, and it could be ones that were some of them originally good but kind of went into the ground. And obviously we're getting some like The Matrix.
Yes.
Which is basically the essential idea what we're talking about, where it's had one was great and the other 2 were kind of but now several years later they're coming back to it and these characters are older. Mm-hmm. You could call it a Logan thing too, somewhat. A little bit.
Yeah.
Where you get that idea of okay, this is what they've been up to. Anyway, that kind of idea.
Basically, we're just giving franchises a second chance.
Movie franchises that we think could do. It could be, a TV show or whatever too, if we decide That's might
Ooh,
be
I
the way to
didn't
go.
think
You know what
about
I'm
that.
saying? But it doesn't matter. Anyway, just a new or like the Rambo. I'm just trying to think of examples like the Rambo movie, or Rocky or whatever. Rocky Balboa, I guess. Whatever.
Yes. So
Anyway, so it's not really structured. Just gonna kind of talk about it, man.
talk about some movies.
Talk about it.
You want to
That's
go
like
first?
what we do on this thing. Yeah, I told you about this. Yeah. So basically, I picked some basically movies that I love from my childhood that may or may not have gotten worse as they went along.
Yeah.
And just kind of fizzled out. And then later on, Anyway, so I told you about this one last night as an example. What is it called? Is it The Mask of Zorro or is it The Legend of Zorro? I think it's The Mask of Zorro. Anyway, Antonio Banderas, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Zorro.
Yes, Zorro film. Back from 1999.
The most amazing mustache you'll ever see on the big screen. I saw it on a little screen. It's a beautiful mustache. Have you seen his mustache?
I mean, he has a mustache for a little bit, but then he shaves it off.
Well,
Are you talking about his gentleman's mustache?
Yeah. Well, not
pretty
from
good.
that movie, but
Who are we talking about?
Zorro's famous for having just a pencil
Yeah.
thin mustache.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So, what's his name?
Antonio?
Yeah. No, not Antonio.
Look at that mustache.
I mean, yeah. Right. That's the older style. Right.
It's good.
And so they kind of take that with Anthony Hopkins' character because he plays the original. He's kind of like that original Zorro, and he has a little mustache and a little soul patch or whatever. So he's got that little pencil thing. And then so he gets it. Kind of goes off that original show or whatever, and kind of does that same thing where Antonio Banderas kind of plays this newer version of him. Anyway, it's a great movie, right? If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth checking out. Awesome action. Amazing sword fighting. Some of the best fencing you're gonna see in movies.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff.
I remember the opening of that movie was insanely good. I remember he was fighting.
Yes. So that's I keep losing his name. Anthony Hopkins' character.
Mm-hmm.
Early on, he's Zorro, and so he crosses this evil governor guy, but he figures out that he's Zorro. So he comes in, he burns his house, he captures him, he kills his wife. He steals his daughter, his little baby at the time, and takes him and this evil guy takes his daughter, locks him up, and then it's whatever it says, 20 years later, and that's when you get a young Antonio Banderas helps him out in the early scene, in this first scene or whatever, so he remembers him, whatever, he gives him this necklace for saving his life or something. But anyway, so whatever it was, 20 years later, 15 years, governor comes back to California. This is before California becomes a state. It's kind of like the thing that's going around the whole idea. And basically, he's older Zorro is coming back for revenge. He breaks out of prison in a cool, awesome scene because the governor goes back to see if he's dead or not. But anyway, he breaks out of prison because he's gonna get revenge and kill him. And then he's like, I'm going to train up this other Zorro to stop them from their evil plans. Anyway. I'm not going to go into all of it. Anyway, it's a great movie, like I said.
I always remember,
Antonio Banderas is awesome.
I remember watching that when I was little and being like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. It's really surprising, if you rewatch it, how it still holds up a lot. Because it's a lot of practical.
I don't think there's any CGI in that movie.
No, it's all practical. It's really good.
I mean, it's 99, so it's CGI was so, I mean, it's in the vein of your Indiana Jones, the Mummy movies, the Brendan Fraser one's 1999 also, so that was a pretty good year for that kind of style. Or your Count of Monte Cristo, which is a great movie also, if anyone's seen that one. But yeah. Anyway, so they tried to make a series out of it. They did make a sequel.
They did?
They did make a sequel.
With the same people, or?
Yes.
I bet that went really well.
You don't even remember it. That's how well it went. No, it was bad. I was like a little kid, and I was still like, this is not good.
Zorro.
It's called The Legend of Zorro, I think, or yeah.
The Legend Begins? That's one.
Don't.
The Legend of Zorro.
Yeah. It's still
Then
Antonio
there's
been
The
there.
Mask of Zorro is the one. Yeah.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
I believe.
So it's the Legend of Zorro.
Yes. And it's all about, it's weird because then he has a weird, annoying son in it, if I recall, who's like, I'm the new Zorro, but he's like a little. I mean, he doesn't know his dad's Zorro, but he's like, I'm the new Zorro. It's my young Spanish accent.
You know, movie franchises are always great when they add.
They add the
kid.
child. I mean, that's
Yeah.
not a bad thing, but it was like he's a little too young. I don't like it typically, but because it's like Indiana Jones kind of did that. Okay, I guess you could talk about Indiana Jones. Kind of did the same thing. They brought back that sequel, and he's older. Blah blah blah. Anyway,
Except that didn't go well.
yeah. So all these are under the hope that the movies that are made are good movies. Obviously, if they're bad movies, you get it. Anyway. So yeah, the sequel had like a kid, and he was kind of his son, and it was really annoying. And then Catherine Zeta-Jones and Antonio Banderas obviously get together at the end of the other movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
Classic.
but now their marriage is like breaking up, and she's like they're not like together anymore.
Classic.
Obviously, at the end they get back together, but it has to do with like nitroglycerin and like the Civil War or something.
Oh yeah, I kind of do remember that.
I should go back and watch that, but I remember it not being good as a kid, even. And I liked a lot of dumb stuff as a kid, so maybe it wasn't. Or maybe it's better than I remember. Who knows? But I remember it being not good, not being interesting. It was kind of weird. Anyway, so what I would like to see with the Zorro remake. This is, 20 years later, 21 years later. If it was made next year, 22 years or whatever.
Yes, sir.
Older Zorro, obviously, and maybe now he kind of takes on that role of the Anthony Hopkins character. Maybe not exactly the same thing happens, but there's got to be some kind of like catalyst for him to. Maybe he's like, stop being Zorro, blah blah blah. Maybe he needs to come back. I don't know if I want to do like a whole let's retrain a new kid, but. Maybe it's time for a lady Zorro. Maybe he gets a young girl or something, Let's be we can be progressive in it too. I'm just spitballing.
Lady
here,
Zorro.
All right? Zores. What's the Spanish?
Zora.
Zora.
I think that's it. I think it's A.
Let me. Trying to think of a feminine versus masculine phrase. Senora. I guess so. I guess that'd be about the same.
It ends with an A usually.
Zora. Sure. That doesn't sound bad.
That's fine with me, man.
Anyway, doesn't matter. It could be a guy. It could be a lady. And maybe it's that kind of thing, Maybe his wife's dead. Maybe his son is gone and because nobody liked him. Maybe he's gone somewhere else in America. Who knows? Maybe he died in some other war. Spanish-American War.
Mm-hmm.
When is the Alamo set? Oh, that'd be interesting.
What
if Zorro was at the Alamo?
And he stopped it.
Timeline. Yeah, he's fought
He fought them all
He
off.
didn't stop it, but obviously. Because then you could have Davy Crockett in there and like.
There you go.
David Bowie and all this. Not David Bowie.
David Bowie.
Jim Bowie.
I want David Bowie to be
David
there.
Bowie could be there too. He just shows up from heaven. I don't know. Anyway, so you can throw. I don't have a specific idea, but basically something like that, and maybe because it's more fun when you have to kind of have it set around things that what's going on, and like in around California or around Mexico and all these different places.
Yeah,
it's set in California. So, but anyway,
do you want me to go with one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've talked, and I was rambling.
My first one is Transformers, because the first one's
more recent type of.
First one's good.
Yeah.
All the sequels are garbage.
Pretty much.
Third one's got some good stuff, but for the most part, first one's good, and then
I stopped watching after
2, 3,
3,
4. There's 5 of them. Age of Extinction, and then they had the last 9.
3 is, and then after that is what? Is that 3 is Dark of the Moon.
Yeah.
What's after 3?
Age of Extinction. That's the one where Mark Wahlberg came in.
Yes.
And then he did The Last Night.
Okay, so I was thinking there's one
5
more.
of them.
Maybe I'm thinking
you
of
can wipe 4 of them out.
Maybe I'm thinking of the Bumblebee. but that could fit in. That could even fit in because that's a prequel.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll fit it in there.
Well, like the first one's a little bit more grounded. It's not isn't crazy insane, and no one cares about the characters and anything.
Yeah. I mean, there was some weird stuff like that they took to like 11 in the second one, which because there were some things in there in the first one you're like, but then they went really. It was like okay because the other thing else is okay, but then they go really far in two.
The CGI in the first one is almost better than any of the following ones too.
You think?
Like, I mean, you get to see like
maybe it's more thought out.
It's a little bit more thought out, and it's not just like overblowing you with just like CGI and stuff. So I think go straight from the first one. You get rid of all the middle ones because what's happening, King Arthur, and it's dumb. It's all dumb.
Consent.
Yeah, that too.
It's okay.
So just get rid of those. Start after 1. Shia LaBeouf. You get him back.
Okay.
Optimus Prime, and then you retry it a little bit more grounded. Don't get as crazy.
Yeah.
And focus on the Autobots and make them the likable characters as well, instead of we need human characters to relate to. Just throw random people in there and they'll care about them. No, I don't care about none of that. So just get rid of all that stuff. Go back.
John Malkovich. I don't know.
Wasn't Tucci? He was in one too.
Yeah, he's been in. Oh wait,
Stanley
Tucci. He was in the third. He was in the fourth one, I think, because I didn't see it. I think he was in the one with Wahlberg.
I remember trying to watch the fourth one, and that's where like the dinosaurs came in, and I was just like, all right, bro.
Which is kind of like they're like, oh, now it's dinosaurs.
It's supposed to be crazy,
the
and
Dinobots
all
was kind
that,
of cool,
but like the first one was good because it was a little bit more grounded.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I mean, like I remember there was just a chase between 2 Transformers, and that was like the most intense thing of the entire series. And then after a while, it's just like throw every robot we have at them. So I say reboot. Don't get Michael Bay though.
Not well, yeah, soft.
Because I mean, Bumblebee was like
Travis
it can be
McKnight,
done a little bit more grounded too, and I cared about all that junk better.
It's I think it's like you're talking about what you mean by grounded.
I mean, it's not just focusing like for the first one, it's just focusing on Shia LaBeouf and the Autobots, really.
Yeah, and they're like a relationship.
Second, third, fourth, fifth, it's got like so many side characters that have nothing to do with the story.
Yeah,
and then you have action for action's sake, and it's not like doing anything for the story or anything. So
I think well, I don't know if this is exactly what you're saying, but it might be what you mean. But like grounded is in. Like the story of itself is like overarching and like we're coming from this crazy planet, we're aliens and we're trying to get this thing that's gonna like save our planet or whatever.
Because like in the first one, what's his face? Megatron. He dead. He dead.
The first one? He's frozen. Oh, after the first one.
After the first one,
they
dump him in the ocean
because he gets the thing shoved into his chest. And there's too much power or whatever.
Yeah.
But so obviously it has these huge over the top overarching stories like you want to see where it's like really epic and all that stuff, but at the end, just like Bumblebee, it's kind of like about a kid in their car kind of thing,
exactly,
and their relationship.
And
you know what I mean?
Because with Shia LaBeouf, it's just like he's chosen, but like it's why him?
I'm a weird person and I have
it's because he's related to
Wiki.
So I don't really care for that stuff. I'd rather get them out.
But I'm saying so like the reason I think first one works is because it's Shia LaBeouf and he gets his car and he's got like again a kid in his car in high school he's kind of a weirdo trying to work things out. Same thing and you go back with Bumblebee, same thing. There's a girl in her car, she's kind of strange, and it's more about that relationship there. But even while you have this huge thing, so I think maybe get more, and then after that just kind of became bigger and weirder and more like just. More racist.
That's my first one. Very racist. So that's my first one of being like, let's get rid of those.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Sequels.
I mean, what do you want to see, and like, what would you want to see? Would you? So we're guessing that if you start from 1 and we say, okay, this amount of years later, you know what I mean, and this is the older characters. So we got
did the first
Sam,
one come out?
2008. I don't know. I remember seeing it in theaters.
2007.
Okay, so well, anyway.
So what? 13 years later. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, I saw that in theaters, and I was like, even when I went in, I was like, not really interested in these Transformers. But I was like, oh, it's pretty good. Surprised me.
Yeah, so
And
that's
then
why
the other one surprised me the other way.
So maybe
How bad they
it
were.
would be a jump 13 years later where
Yeah.
it's like he's comfortable with the Autobots and he's helping people out, I guess.
Yeah, because my thing would be, I didn't like how they had like, they're after the cube. What'd they call that? The cube. I mean, they just called it the cube, but what was it called? It had a name. Anyway, it's a cube that like sparked all life on their planet.
Allspark.
Yeah, the Allspark. There you
It
go.
sparked all
It's a
things.
cube that sparks all life. What do we call that?
The Allspark.
Right, and then but after that, it was like gone, and like nobody talked about it ever again. It was just like
But then,
whatever.
like,
They had like a
needed it-
chip or whatever.
But then, like, it was like, Optimus Prime dies. You have to bring him back with the Allspark, which killed them, and then you have to go to get this
But, I
thing
mean,
and that thing.
Because that was essentially what started their creation, right? The
Yeah.
thing that sparked it, and that's why they're after it, and because they were trying to because they could use it to create Autobots, basically, right? Because they
So,
hit that
like-
wave, and it like makes like the pop machines turn them.
You could also look at it as kind of like
But
how the Fantastic Four would take, like, what an awful way to put it, but Fantastic Four, the newest one, they were like, all right, we're going to use your abilities for the military. So they could even like do something with that. Because I like the military aspect of the Transformers, because that's how it would actually be. The military would be like,
also, you get lots of money from the military when you show them in a good light. That's why the military is so awesome in those movies.
Exactly. So,
But yeah, so that's why I'm like, well, I don't like, because each one has their own type of like, this is the big relic.
yes,
I'm not sure about the last two ones, but because I skipped those, but
they're awful.
you know what I mean? Like, I assume there's like this one thing that everyone's trying to get, because like it keeps changing each time. Like the one is like, you know what I mean? It's the staff, or it's like the first one's the cube and the other one's like a blah. Yeah, I can't even remember because that's how memorable they are.
It's not
the cube.
good.
So I'm thinking maybe keep the cube and like somehow they're able to get a new one, or maybe that was the wrong one, or maybe that was just a piece, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
or there was a piece, they had like a piece of it, and maybe that was like it then. I don't know.
I just remember the first one being like
Something like
when
that.
you see a Transformer, you'd be like, wow, that thing's like big and it's really cool to look at from like a ground perspective. And then you look at the sequels and it's just like,
Maybe
I
it's-
don't even know what
yeah.
I'm looking at anymore.
I'd have to go back and check, but maybe it's just like the fact that because we're seeing it from Sam Witwicky's point of view. And so every time like a Transformer changes, it's kind of like either around them or it's like right above them. And it's
Yeah.
like,
I
and so it
remember
makes you feel smaller in the way they do it. You know, they
the
get a
scene
good
that I
shot,
like
scale.
enjoyed the most is when the first, it had like a really great song to it. It was like a chase scene where the cop
Was it the
car,
used?
yeah, the cop car, and then it was like Bumblebee. I'm like, that's like the best scene of the entire series. So
Yeah, I think that was
Redo
pretty-
it.
Yeah, it was just car. I mean, it's Fast and Furious, but you got Transformers.
just redo it,
Not redo it, but
get them out.
cut out. I don't know why
We
I'm looking
don't-
at your camera.
we don't-
Cut out the sequels.
We don't need Michael Bay.
Skip 2 through 5.
Yes, then
Or
just
4,
do
whatever.
1 to 2.
Yeah.
Do the Halloween. You can keep Bumblebee. That's fine.
Yeah,
That works
Keep
in-
everything the same, maybe like, and then show how the world has progressed. Obviously, they kind of did that in 2 and the rest of them, but just skip all those. Show how the world has progressed with this technology, and then have another, invasion from
Another
destroy the
invasion.
world or something. you
Yeah.
know?
So it's been 13 years, and now they're like, we're coming back, and they're like,
Yeah.
we're ready this time. But
Maybe-
then they're not ready. But
Maybe mega or something worse, and then they get the Decepticons on their side to try and stop this thing, because they'll be like,
the
well,
military.
stop the military. Wait, what? What did
The
you
military would
say?
be like, we like these Decepticons because they're big and they'll help us out.
Well, I
Because
mean-
the Autobots are like, nah.
I don't know about that, but I mean, so some other like alien threat. It could be a robot or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Something that's coming to destroy the world, and then so that forces the Autobots and the Decepticons to work together to fight against it to save the Earth. Save the Earth.
I'm cool with that.
You know what I'm saying? So then it's like in the beginning maybe they could fight for a bit and they can bring back Megatron or whatever, like they did in the other one, but better way. I don't know. Whatever.
I'm cool with that.
But then so they'll be like, well, Earth is our home now, and we all have to fight.
Autobots,
Roll out. But like how he does those weird monologues, and be like, we all had to work together to save the Earth or whatever. Anyway,
I'm cool with that.
something.
You want to go? What you did? You want to go?
No.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Guy, see you later. Thanks
Bye.
for watching.
2. I mean, The Mummy, obviously. I already referenced
I
it.
had that one.
So we'll share this
That's
one.
like one of my favorite. The first one, that's
Not-
one of my all-time favorite
Not
movies.
2017? Is it 2018?
I don't remember.
Who cares? I think it was 2018.
I think we talked about this the other day. It's 2018, I think.
Not Tom Cruise, The Mummy movie.
2017.
I knew it.
Sorry.
I didn't know it. I just, that was my first guess. Not the 2017 crap movie, The Mummy, with Tom Cruise. It's weird screams as he falls out of an airplane and yells at people, ladies from a
Yells
crypt.
people back to life.
Kisses them back to life. He
I
kisses
thought he,
people to death and then
then-
he kisses them back to life.
It's amazing. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Not that one.
I
Brendan
remember-
Fraser, classic. Sorry, 1999
Get
movies, even 1 and 2. And so
it. 2 is pretty good still.
you can keep we can keep 3, but I would get rid of 3
Isn't
too.
3
I
the
didn't
one
like
where
3.
they like recasted Rachel Weisz's character and it was like ancient Chinese
It's
and there was
China.
like the Yetis?
It's they go to Shangri-La or whatever it is in the mountain.
Oh, and Jet Li.
Jet Li's.
Oh,
Some
you
of
can
the
get rid of
ideas with that was cool, and he has his son, which they do that in the
that's-
second one.
When
which
I
is
was
kind
talking
of
about
too,
how
but-
like you add a son into a franchise, it always makes better. I was like, The Mummy.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Okay, to be fair, they do it in the second one where it's like the young boy,
Yeah.
and I don't like him.
The
But the
second
movie
one's
itself is
okay.
okay. Obviously,
Scorpion King's in that one, right?
yeah, it's got that end scene with the awful CG half centaur like scorpion with the
I don't-
rock,
I
and
don't
it's the
hate
worst.
that one.
Everyone always talks about how it's the worst CGI.
It's not good, but I kind of.
There's some parts that I enjoy about it because it's better. It's got all the same characters back. It does this weird thing of where she's like reincarnated the Pharaoh's daughter that Imhotep kills in the beginning, and in Akhenaten kill in the beginning.
One thing-
She's like the daughter reincarnated.
Well, that's the one
and then
thing I don't like.
And then it turns out that he's like a secret magi because he's like this protector, and I'm like, okay,
I don't
it's a
like
little
that
too
these-
much of that. But
I hate that this friend like
get rid of that.
The one thing I didn't like about the second one is they're like she's the chosen one and all.
she,
It's like
the boy is
I
the
liked
chosen
it how
one.
that was just kind of these guys just trying to get some money.
So the first one was just like, oh, we're going to a tomb.
First one's perfect.
And again, speaking of an opening scene,
Oh my gosh.
well, 2 opening scenes because the first one's
Like
just
the
like the
war in the
backstory with
desert?
but the first one's part's just the backstory of like how he got turned to a mummy and why he got cursed and all that blah blah blah. Why? First of all, why do they curse people like that? Like, why would you make
Just
a curse?
kill him.
I mean,
Just slit his throat.
Well, I just mean, like, why do you got to put a curse on him that if he comes back, he
Yeah.
brings back with all the plagues and all these supernatural powers, and he can't be killed, and he's immortal. It's
The
like,
problem-
whoa! This sounds like a good. This is like a blessing.
Sounds like a
if he-
bad idea to
Oh,
do that.
so let's make it. If he does come back, he can get off like terrible revenge on everybody. You know, it can't
Just
be
kill
unstoppable killing machine. Yeah, like
Just kill him right there.
maybe it's a curse like in the underworld, like maybe he's tortured in the underworld, and then that's just the trade-off. Like, okay, fine, if he's gonna have an awful life in the underworld, then
Yeah, but just
fine.
kill
I guess
him.
if he comes back, I guess he'll get supernatural powers and he'll live forever and be immortal. But
Just kill him.
it's
Just
like,
slit his throat.
it's already bad enough to be mummified alive.
Put him in the coffin.
We don't
then
need
just stab him a bunch.
We don't need the curse too.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
anyway, forgetting all that.
So the people
Continue.
who mummify him are almost worse than the actual mummy. They're like,
Well,
in like a couple thousand years, everyone's gonna be
everyone's
dead
gonna
because
hate
of
us. It's gonna be such a great prank.
That first movie is perfect in my
First
opinion.
movie is, but yeah, the desert scene, the French, but what's that? I can't even think
The
of
French.
French Foreign Legion.
Yes.
That everyone gets shanghaied into. But anyway, he's fighting in there. That's one thing I'd love to see more movies about the French Foreign Legion. Secondhand Lions kind of talks about that
A little bit, yeah.
which I like. But anyway, so great scenes, super good action. I mean, the CGI in that I still think holds up pretty well. Like, it's weird how much. I mean, some things don't hold up, but how
1999.
how certain films CGI like even holds up to today, like better than
Oh, yeah.
some of the other stuff. Whoa. But anyway,
I think it's just not the overabundance of CGI is what makes it better.
that too, yeah. But even just the CGI.
Because like that newest Mummy,
right off.
even a stupid movie like that, I could tell it doesn't look as good as the
It's
1999.
technically better, but something about it
Looks worse.
looks worse, and maybe it's just the care. I don't know.
I remember the first Mummy being really scary.
It's pretty scary, man.
Because 1999, we were young. It's like,
yeah.
like for when you're
When I
young and you
first
watch
watched
that, it's
it, I'm
like,
oh my.
this is scary for me, especially like.
Well, if you're not used to watching it,
I remember the soundtrack being like really haunting and like scaring me whenever
Yeah. Well, it's really it's mostly scary in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Not the very beginning, middle.
The
When they
middle
first
is the
wake him
scary
up
part.
and he's walking around sucking people
Yep.
in the tomb. Sucking people. He's sucking people's lives out in the tomb. Yeah.
There's nothing about that movie
Life
you don't
Force, I don't know
like.
what you call it. No, Brendan Fraser is amazing.
Great. Would you get him
yeah,
back though if you're making a reboot?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Obviously.
Maybe he would
Dude.
be like the Crystal Skull, where he's like a little bit older and grizzled, and he's
Well,
training someone
He's
else.
however
or
old
something.
he is right now, right? From the time.
I don't want to put him through that torture again.
He doesn't have to do anything. I mean, like things. That's his own. Like you can get stunt guys for that. I mean, but
He's 51.
yeah, that's all good, man. I mean, you got Liam
Thought he was
Neeson running
older
around
than
doing
that.
stuff at like 65 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So the Mummy. What would we do? I'm saying I like the idea of the Chinese style mummies and the terracotta warriors and stuff, but that got weird. I don't like the weird recast. I mean, the lady was fine, but it's just not the same. And I don't like his son very much, even though he's older in the third one. But overall, it's just not good. It's acted kind of cheesy, and they do weird stuff. Anyway, skip all that.
Yes.
Go back to the Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Desert. Go back to the desert. Let's go back to Egypt. Get Rachel Weisz back. Skip 3.
Yes.
Let's pretend like maybe 3 didn't happen, or
I didn't like
let's just
3
not
as
reference
much as
it,
I remember.
or do like a weird joke about it, like remember that time we were in China? Remember those Yetis we fought, or we didn't fight those; they fought for us or something.
Yeah, I don't like
Remember
that
when we
one.
found the Fountain of Youth or something? I don't even
Yeah.
remember what we did.
Oh my gosh.
Shangri-La in the Alps or whatever. I don't even know.
Yeah, don't do that.
Some of that movie, I think, a lot of that movie wasn't just like they were just like, okay, the Chinese had mummies, let's do that. Cool, that sounds like a cool idea. But then it's just like, whoa, if we're in China, what are these
Yetis.
other like Eastern things we could throw in there? Shangri-La. Oh yeah, well they gotta go get to there. There's Yetis guarding it. I
Not
don't know.
good.
Lots of stuff. Anyway, yeah.
To redo
So
that.
what would we do? I don't know what the year would be. Maybe it's like World War II-ish era, probably. Could be about then. It's about It's in between. It's just about to be World War One in the original movie, because they have like machine guns and stuff and different types of things and planes, obviously. Actually, is it after?
So I'm trying to
Actually, I think it's in between.
1925.
Yeah, it's in
when it's
between.
set.
So okay, yeah, never mind. It's after World War One. Sorry. So after World War One, yeah, we could do World War Two, man. WW2.
It'd be like Indiana Jones.
I was gonna say, what if we pull an Indiana Jones where they're trying to find an ancient relic, and we're like, whoa, and they're already like they're already digging there or something, and they find it, and they gotta protect it from.
What did I say? 25. 1925 is when it was set.
Yeah.
World War II is like.
You need to look at when
1939.
1925. I mean, what am I saying? The sequel is set, because it's like 12 years later or something, because their son is like 12-ish, 13 years maybe. Could be like 15. I don't even know.
The Mummy Returns. Let's find out.
Yeah. So what year is that? And then from that,
1933.
so that's 1933. Okay. Yeah.
So wow, that's a big jump.
Yeah. So that's 1933. I mean, that's almost.
You could keep the
Maybe
second one.
maybe the third one is after World War II.
Let's find out. No, because they had the biplane.
We still have biplanes. What are you talking
Yeah, I
about?
mean-
The third one though?
Oh, 1946. So this is after World War II, isn't it?
Third one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's around there, 45.
It's like
43
literally like
was
right when
kinda
it ended. So
yeah, maybe the Pacific stuff was happening. Yeah, so maybe even okay, jump past that. Maybe it's like the 50s. What would it be? So if we jumped from,
well, we got to think about Brandon Fraser's age, so it had to be like 50s or 60s
so
to match the 50s.
let's skip out. Yeah, let's skip out the third one. Let's not pretend. So go to it's like so from 1933. Yeah, so 1933 to what year did the Mummy come out? The Mummy Returns.
The Mummy Returns 2001.
2001. Okay. So 19 years later. We'll say 20 years. This will be easier. So it'll be 1953. So
Yes.
that'd be about right. Okay.
Yeah,
We'll call it 1953. They're digging. I don't know. What else is going around in 1953?
That's what I'm looking for.
What's happening in the world? Anyway, it doesn't have to be anything particular. I mean, you know what? You just find another curse. Blah, blah, blah. Do whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Anyway, sequel. There you go. I guess.
The Soviet Union detonated their first hydrogen bomb. That's around Cold War era, isn't it?
No.
It's a little before still.
That's a lot. Cold War is like the 80s. Or is it? Is it the... No, the Cold War is before that. What am I thinking? The Cold War was the 60s. Yeah. 50s, 60s. You're right.
Yeah. It says period 1947 to 1990.
Yeah. So I was going to say, because it's kind of like there's always kind of the... I was thinking of the 80s, like how there's always all the Russian stuff and through the 90s. But yeah, you're right. Because that's kind of like... It just kind of lasted all the way through there. But yeah, you're right. So yeah, I could do something with the Russians. Maybe. Sorry, Russia.
Not sorry. I want to make sure everything's recording still. Okay, we're only 38 minutes in.
Yeah. Not bad.
Not bad.
Gonna check yours?
I was thinking it's probably fine.
Probably.
Just double check. I'd hate to do all this and be like nothing.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's just an obvious one. Like I didn't really come up with like a plan of what exactly I want to see. I just want to see an older Brendan Fraser. You know, he's getting old, obviously. Maybe he's just digging. Maybe he's just hanging out with his wife.
His kid been older. He'd been like 20.
He was like 20 something in the last movie.
Yeah, but if you don't have that one,
I don't know. Just say he's off in college. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Or he can be in it. I don't care. You know, he'd be an older guy. He'd be like 30.
I'd get rid of him forever.
30?
Something like that.
I don't know. Bring back her brother. He's the best. Jonathan. He's the best. And I don't know. You know, maybe he's trying to like... Because they kind of did it in the third one a little bit where he's like, I'm getting old. And he's like trying to fish and stuff. And I don't know. And he's trying to fish and then he ends up shooting the fish because he can't get fishing or something.
I'm trying to remember.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
It's hard to remember all that.
He's like, oh, I've got to retire and stop shooting. You know what I mean? And be like you know what I mean? Be like an old English guy.
It's literally been forever since I've seen that movie, so.
Maybe they could do like a Native American mummy or something. Aztec curse. They've got pyramids.
Yeah,
you know, something.
I mean,
go to Central America or something, or South America. Do some kind of tribe down there, maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Some kind of mummy thing like that. Just spitballing here. Just throwing ideas out.
I mean, I'm cool with that.
1950s jungle exploration. Maybe have them. They find some kind of link of how they're connected. So like, if everyone's like, well, how do they must have been connected at one point because everyone has pyramids, right? Unless it's just an obvious shape that just works. But what if they did like they figure something out, like the way supernaturally they communicated with the Aztecs, and they were like somehow, you know what I mean, cross sharing ideas and stuff somehow, and be like, oh, we gotta go to Central America, Peru, or I don't know, South America somewhere, yeah, whatever. And then they have some mummies there. They have some mummies, but also
They go
treasure.
there and they have some mummies.
And there's a curse or something, you know what I mean? I mean, there's got to be a lot of curses when you're pulling people's spines or out or whatever, or pulling people's hearts out and eating them. Something like that, you know?
I'd watch it.
I'd like to, because I like you got the cool Aztec aesthetic that you could do. Anyway,
I'd be cool with that.
just want to see him dual wielding some sweet pistols with his vest and maybe like a shotgun
That
or
was
two.
the best. I love that shotgun.
Bring
too.
back Oded Fur, who played the Magi guy.
I love him.
He's the best.
He was always my favorite, and I loved
Super
his
cool.
sword. It was like all bendy.
Yeah, man. It was like
Pretty sweet.
It was like
nice
it went this
bendy
way.
sword.
Yeah,
I
man.
loved it.
It's a curvy sword. And it
It's
sounded,
a
sounded cool.
Good movie.
So get some of that. Do some of that. I just bumped it.
Oh,
Good. Yeah, anyway, we've gone on too long, but
you want me to go with one?
also all these movies are ones that we would recommend if you haven't seen them. Obviously, The Mummy. That's one we've talked about.
Freaking watch The Mummy.
Maybe we've hyped it up too much though. When people say they're like,
It'll live up to the hype. It's that good.
well,
It's that good.
that good. Well, now it's not now for sure.
Do you want me to go with one?
Sure.
All right. I don't know how you're gonna feel about this.
I feel
Die Hard.
okay. I don't feel bad about it.
A Good Day to Die Hard is one of the most awful movies I've ever seen. Or was it Live Free and Die Hard? That's the one with Jai Courtney, right? Okay, they're
Yeah,
both bad. All the ones after the first one are not that good. It's like Die Hard with a Vengeance is all right.
Yeah.
It's one with Samuel L. Jackson and the
That's the second one, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's
The one, wherever one's in the airport.
That's
The second one.
the second one. Yeah. That's
Is that
the
Die
one-
Hard with
yeah.
Vengeance? Okay. Yeah. Okay. I've seen the
Die
first
Hard,
two then.
Die Hard with a Vengeance. Those are the only two good ones.
Those
in
are
my
the only ones
opinion.
I've seen,
It's A Good Day to Die Hard and then Live Free and Die Hard. Those are both so
I think A Good Day to Die Hard is the most recent one. Because I think Live Free and Die Hard, that's the one with Justin Long
That's
in it.
not good. That's not good either.
I thought that one was okay. I thought I heard that was okay.
It just got too crazy at that point.
Okay.
But the one with Jai Courtney, it's like he has a son. and
Isn't
it's
there in
like,
Russia?
They're in Soviet Russia and stuff. It's not good.
Yeah,
I just want to
I've
see
heard it's bad.
John McClane do cop things.
Just do cop things,
Do
John.
cop things instead of being like international spy John McClane and he fights all these Russians.
He's a
and
superhero. Like he's basically
he can't die at that
superpowered.
point.
Yeah.
It gets ridiculous. After
Well,
the first one's
he dies
really
hard.
Die hard.
It should be just be called Can't Die.
Kill me. I can't die. Just
so
kill
hard
me.
it's impossible.
So yeah, get rid of those. Go after. You could get rid of Die Hard with a Vengeance. Honestly, you could just do Die Hard
Pull a Halloween,
and then go.
Die Hard, then do
How long? It's like 20,
30
30 years
years
at this point.
yeah.
Get Bruce Willis back. Hopefully he cares. Maybe he'll show up on time. But get him back. It's in the future.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, you have to teach your son and all this stuff because it's starting to get cliche. Just him again.
Yeah.
But
How about he's on his own?
yeah. and
Although, does he have a kid?
it's Jai Courtney is his son.
I know, but I mean, so his wife is in the first movie.
Yes.
Do they have a kid at that point?
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember. I'm just trying to think. Because
they
she's
do.
there and they're kind of separated. Did they get back together at the end of the movie?
Yes.
I couldn't remember. if
At the end of the movie,
decided
yes,
to
they
get
get back together.
I feel like that
she's
won't
I'm
last.
with a new guy and he's at this party.
Right.
But he's actually a scumbag. And then
Right. So,
Betrays
so he
everybody.
does have a son. So I guess you could add the son in, not Jai Courtney.
yeah, that's a bad choice. What were you thinking?
Yeah, and just go from there just to something else.
Restart. But after.
Die Hard to this. We'll just call it Die Hard again.
Yeah. But you
Die
can
Harder.
do that because it's like a
Halloween?
Reboot. I did it.
Halloween.
Exactly.
I don't know
So
how you do that. I mean,
get rid of it. I
or
think
call
you
it
need a new one.
what? Or just call it Die Harder. Or
Harder. I don't know. I don't care what you call it. As long as it's. The first one's so grounded.
Hard
And
Death.
it's so like. It's kind of cheesy, but it's really good cheesy.
Well,
it's like
yeah.
schlock. Like. I love Die Hard.
I think it's
first
good.
one is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
And then it just hurts me to see A Good Day to Die Hard because I've only watched that once and I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. It's so bad.
Haven't seen it.
you can save yourself from trouble. It's like they're superheroes at this point, and
So
they're
is it-
dealing with like nuclear stuff
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like bombs.
Nuclear.
And it's like you're just a cop. Die Hard
I
is
thought
about
you were a cop. Yeah, yeah.
that was stuck in the wrong spot.
Right, just a normal guy.
Yeah.
He walks on glass, jumps out a
Machine gun,
window
tapes machine
with
guns
a,
to his back.
Yeah, with a hose.
Yeah, climbs through ducks.
Ducks.
Ducks. climbs. Gross. Yeah. So that's.
I know what
a
you're saying.
quickie.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
a,
totally.
that's
Yeah,
a quick
it's just
one.
gone like crazy over the top action.
It's done
like,
the Transformers,
like, who are you?
where
Like,
it's nice
is
and
this?
grounded at the beginning, and then it just gets up its own butt, and it's like, what if he's
Yeah.
like what if he flies a spaceship into
what if he
a
knows how to
nuclear
do
satellite?
everything?
Yeah. He's just a cop.
Or isn't there talk of rebooting it? There was. I don't know where it is now.
They
But
were gonna do a prequel.
they were going to like do a prequel
That's
slash.
a horrible idea.
They were going to do a prequel slash older him too or something. Like maybe something. I mean, I could see like maybe a scene that flashes back like, oh, this was my partner before the first movie, but then something happened and like I betrayed it, or he got betrayed. He felt like he was betrayed, and then he's come back now as I'm an older person. You know, maybe something like that. You know what I mean? Something before in his past, before the first movie, that maybe has something to do with the first movie a little bit.
Only
and
thing I
then
don't like about the
jumps back to
prequel
that
idea
one.
is like before Die Hard, he was just a normal guy.
Yeah.
And they're
Right,
like, he
he's a
has
cop.
destiny and stuff.
I mean, he's a
That's
police
what's
officer, so-
ruined Die Hard for me is they make him like he's the chosen cop
Yeah.
and he's the best cop that the world's ever seen and stuff. It's
He can't
not
be killed.
good. Yeah. So
Can't be killed.
it could be just like a Taken situation where it's like,
Sure, he's just doing cop stuff.
yeah,
I mean,
cop
well,
stuff. Or he has to go
he
rogue.
doesn't fight like that though. But yeah,
But that's just a quick pick for me. What you got?
it's a good pick, man. I mean, that'd be the way to go. I mean, you just gotta get some good writers and get a good idea and get Bruce Willis to care, and
Not drown him in a puddle of water. That's like the
no, that
funniest
should be
thing
the
to me
end.
ever.
That should be the end of Die Hard.
I want Bruce Willis to get drowned in a puddle in every single movie he does now.
From now on,
Yeah.
did
so,
he die from that, or did he get out?
What,
That
the water? No, he died. It was a puddle.
I know he
It
died,
was
but
like
I
a
couldn't
small
remember if he
puddle.
died in the puddle.
Yeah, he died. in the puddle.
What a legacy, man!
It's pretty bad.
What a legacy.
It makes me kind of upset because
Yeah.
I had such high hopes for it, and that movie's not good.
Yeah, I should go back and watch that. I don't know.
I don't want to ever watch that again.
Were they going to do a sequel? Because they brought in a bunch of this weird stuff in the end also. Like, so now everybody knows about superheroes. This is a tangent.
There's a secret
Everybody knows
society.
about but then there's like like a secret society. And I'm like, of people who want to keep superheroes secret, or they want to
I
kill
hope
superheroes.
they never touch it again.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what they were setting up is all I mean. Like, what's going on? Okay, I got two more. How many you got?
I mean, I just took a bunch of screenshots of movies. I'm like, yep. So whenever you're done, I'm done. Just you can go.
No, I'm saying how many you got left.
I don't know.
Bro,
I have no idea.
count. I mean, I could probably come up with more, but it's like
Well, you go ahead. And I'll
you
see.
could. I mean, you could throw Alien in there. Alien,
One.
somewhat.
There's one.
Okay.
That's Die Hard. There's another one, and then there's one big one.
So 3 left.
Yeah, I could. There's probably more in here. I mean, I could go on for a long time, but I'll just do like 2 or 3. There's one big one I know I'm gonna.
Okay. I guess.
I got a couple movies that I thought would be good with like just movies that never got a sequel that needed one.
I'm thinking that could be a separate, because I almost did something like that, but I was
Yeah.
like, just do franchises, and then we can come back
So
to.
if we're just doing big franchises, I have 2
Okay.
2
Oh my
major
gosh.
ones.
I could have 3 if I count Alien,
Me too. Then
because
that was one of mine, but I'm like, that's
I kinda
so
didn't count
obvious
it
because they'd already done a bunch of stuff.
well, just because they've kind of gone back and done a prequels, but I'm thinking so go forwards in time. So like they were talking about before, Neil Blomkamp, do that movie basically is what I was gonna say, because retcon 3 and Resurrection, and just like, oh, that was a dream, and like that was the whole idea, right? They wake up at the end after Aliens, and they've been drifting in their spaceship, and they get picked up, and do it from there. I don't know. Keep Newt alive. Actually,
Yeah.
keep Hicks alive. his name? Hicks and Ripley alive instead of killing them off at the end of
Yeah.
at the beginning of 3.
All right, what you got?
I got Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man trilogy, my friend.
What?
Yes.
You're gonna...
It doesn't mean I have to retcon. It just means it's a sequel. Sometimes it means that. Sometimes
okay.
So,
Well.
Spider-Man 3 still existed. That's what I'm saying. What?
I thought it was that we had to erase something.
No. You don't have to.
Okay.
Like with The Mummy, you could erase 3, but you could keep it 2. It doesn't matter. But I'm just saying. So it's a franchise with just a sequel. Oh my gosh, just a sequel now, right? In the future, like you can keep Zorro, you can keep number 2.
Yes.
Just do a future one where he's just older, right? Like Rambo, like whatever.
Rambo.
Like Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis. Anyway, so Spider-Man, because I think now's the time to bring back Tobey Maguire. Okay, because I think people have kind of settled with Spider-Man 3 a little more. It wasn't just like, it's kind of like the prequel syndrome, I think, where people were like, at first were just like, these are the worst movie ever. I hate them. But over time, people kind of mellowed on them. Are like, okay, yeah, there are flaws, but they're not the worst movies ever. And maybe it's just people who just grew up with it more. Don't know.
I even like the third one a lot.
Third one's the best one out of the prequels.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
I thought I was talking about Spider-Man.
I'm saying, yeah.
I was like,
sorry.
You're like, third one's the best. I was like, well,
of the prequels, Star Wars, the third one's the best. Yes. I'm saying, no, I do like
I am
Spider-Man
a
3
prequel
also. But,
apologist.
Well, listen, that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, just as the prequels have kind of, people's opinions of the prequels have mellowed out, I think people's opinions of Spider-Man 3 have kind of gotten a little bit better. Like, yeah, it's a joke, but I think Sam Raimi's kind of making it. Plus studio interference.
I think
too many villains. Yeah, I get it. Story's kind of like a little
Spider-Man
too much, but
and the Star Wars have gotten such those are classics now. Those are in 20 years, those are going to be classics. Guarantee it.
In some ways, yeah.
They're going to be classics.
Look, Spider-Man 3 has a lot of problems. It's definitely the worst of the 3. I still like it.
I do.
There's still good scenes in it. I think the overall message is good. All that stuff. But anyway, it did have a kind of a bit of a drop-off send-off. It didn't have the best send-off because it was kind of
they
the
were
weakest.
Planning on
it wasn't
doing
a great
one.
Yes. They did have plans with Vulture, John Malkovich playing the Vulture. They're going to have Black Cat. They're actually going to have Anne Hathaway potentially play Black Cat. She would go on, of course, to play Catwoman and Batman. But all that stuff was cool. Whatever. But then Sony was just like, you know what? We're just gonna, or actually Sam Raimi's like, you know what? I know you're already planning a reboot. Just do that and let me out of my contract, basically. They're like, let's just go our way
get it over with.
Amicably. I know what you're planning already. It's like they're kind of like, yeah, that's a good idea, Vulture. That's cool. Yeah. And he's like sitting there trying to pitch it or whatever. He's like, okay, I know you got plans, so just don't even waste my time. So anyway, I'm saying, so now we have an older Peter Parker, right? We have an older, more experienced Spider-Man. You can do a montage or something of like all the different people.
Do the
smaller villains that he's captured.
What you call it? The whole intro to Spider-Verse where he's like explaining like
sure, you could do some things like that. Yeah. I mean, they even take some things like that. He even did that, and he's like dancing.
Yeah, and then there was like the flipping the car through the window and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they took a lot of it from there.
You could almost do the Spider-Verse now where he's older and
Yes.
he hands it off to Miles.
That's where I'm going, man. Somewhat. I'm saying.
Do it.
I'm saying I think he could get his own, just straight up film. Just like a film to kind of cap things off. So he's older. Maybe he's married to Mary Jane.
Married to Mary Jane.
Maybe they still have some problems. Maybe that's like, oh, this isn't, blah. I don't know, whatever. Issues that come up. Maybe Aunt May is dead now.
Probably.
Potentially. I mean, I think...
Didn't the actress pass away too?
I don't think so. I think Rosemary Harris is still alive.
Rosemary. What a name.
Rosemary Harris. I think he's still alive. You might be right, though. I think his uncle died. The guy who plays Uncle.
Yes, that happened for sure. She is still alive. She is 92.
Bring her back.
Do it. Hurry.
Okay. Do the film now. Bring back Sam Raimi. Bring back Kirsten Dunst. Maybe bring back a weird shadow of...
Bring back James
Franco.
Oh.
James Franco. Bring back Willem Dafoe. He can still come back as a weird, like, mirror guy. Mirror.
I like that scene.
Avenge me. Well, I was gonna say bring back Harry in like a weird, like a flashback maybe, or like a weird ghost that he's kind of.
What
dealing
villain
with.
would you want?
Okay, it'd have to be an older school one.
Because Green Goblin gone.
Well,
gone.
So.
Oh wait, in the end, like the symbiote, like it's away.
It just blows up, man. Who knows? It gets exploded.
So get a new villain.
Well, I'm saying it would have to be an older style villain. Maybe
Electro, probably.
Maybe you could do Sinister Six. That might be too much because that
We
was
haven't seen Electro yet.
You could do an Electro. It has to be something that Sam Raimi like. He used to read the comics. It has to be comics that he used to read before because he didn't like. One of the things they talk about is like, okay, he understood. Like he just told them like they were like, we want Venom in this, and that's like a '90s creation, right? And he's like, yeah, I don't really understand Venom because I didn't like read. I don't know what he's all about, and so that was one reason why Venom was just kind of like not good. And that's why like Dr. Octopus is great. That's why Green Goblin is good because those are older style.
Those are classics.
You could do a Vulture again. You could do Lizard because he had Dr. Connors.
They did.
It has been done, but he was kind of in there. I think he was maybe going to show up in the fourth one.
So do that. We're gonna have to kill Toby. We're gonna have to. He's getting.
I was thinking at the end is Aunt May dies at some point.
So is Miles gonna be in this one then?
He could be. I'm thinking if this movie does well, just him, and it's a good send off for him. The Spider-Man, just do a regular old Spider-Verse, real life, live action. Bring in Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, blah blah blah. Tobey Maguire, and he could just be a separate thing. I don't think it necessarily. We could have like a weird, like a fun little thing, like, oh hey, I'm Miles Morales or whatever. Maybe he does like a inner city teen program or something. I don't know. Like he goes in to teach them or something.
I know, like the Marvel universe was like, we have to set up things for the future. So it's like the first Spider-Man Homecoming was like, all right, we got to introduce Donald Glover's character as
the Prowler,
and stuff. I guess
I can't see him as the Prowler.
No, it's like we have to prepare for the future, is what I see.
Well, part of that was because he was really pushing to play Miles Morales at one point.
Exactly.
Which would have been awesome.
I love him. I think he's great.
He still could almost play. I don't know. Whatever. He could play an older Miles Morales.
How old is he?
Hey, just
I
get
know
Donald
he's about
Glover.
to retire from music. So.
What? Why?
I don't know.
What's he gonna do with his life?
He said he's about done.
Yeah, he's too old.
He said he's gonna retire as Childish Gambino soon. So.
Everybody loves that though, man.
I mean, he's probably making bank.
He's a talented guy. He does everything. He's just gonna focus
He's Lando, for goodness sake. He's 36.
Yeah, not old. He's about 10 years older than me then, ish. But yeah. Okay, anyway. But yeah, I just want to see, like, because I feel like it's not a bad ending, Spider-Man 3, but it just kind of ends in a weird spot. You know what I mean? So, like, it's kind of happy in the end because he kind of makes up with Mary Jane and he makes up with James Franco.
Yeah.
Harry, I guess I should say. But he doesn't get married.
James Franco,
it's kind of
the
left
actor.
open. Yes, James specifically. But you know what I mean? It's like at the very end, it's just he goes and meets Mary Jane at her club and they just like dance for a minute and it just fades to black. And it's like, okay, I get. It's like, okay, he's forgiven, I guess, and they kind of worked it out. Mm-hmm. But it's like, but what else? It's like,
so
doesn't have.
I agree with you. I think they should do that one.
I like it because it's a contrast from the first two movies where it's just like the big swinging scene, but
yeah,
it's a different kind of movie. But I don't know. I feel like there should be one more good send off. You get all the people back. Maybe he has some like things of like the people he's hurt in his mind. Like he has Harry kind of talking to him, kind of like Green Goblin style. Not bad, but just kind of like. Whatever.
It's a good one.
I don't know. I don't know. And then just have a villain. He beats him. Maybe has something to do with getting used to how old you are. I don't know.
I'm only gonna go through.
But yeah, like get Tobey Maguire back.
I got like one more big one, and then I'll just do some like quick ones.
Okay, it's cool.
Because I mean, I don't know.
I got
we're
one
almost
more.
1 o'clock already. So
Yeah, just go on.
the biggest one for me, man. I don't even want to get into
It's
it.
the biggest one.
Star Wars sequels.
Oh, no.
Last Jedi, Rise of
no,
Skywalker.
it's too soon.
Please.
Too soon.
We're only like 2 years from it, and I've already just regretted those movies.
We're not even 2 years. It just
It's
came out last December.
Brutal. Like, if you think about the hype coming off The Force Awakens, the whole universe was open to all these great ideas. And then what, compared to what we got, I'd say redo. Just redo.
The sequels.
Yeah, I mean, Luke seeing a
wanna-
lightsaber, just don't throw it over your shoulder and act like all this stuff and do weird character choices with my childhood idol. But
Do you want to
just
hear?
redo it. I'm not gonna rant. I'm trying not to rant.
Do you want to hear some news?
Sure.
I heard supposedly leaked that they're gonna turn the sequels into like not expanded universe, but kind of retcon them, sort of. I don't know. It's true. It's kind of like I have to look up the article I read on it, but because it
What a
was
waste of time.
yeah, kind of
All this work for nothing.
But basically, it was like
So much money.
it was going to be put into like legends, like, oh, this is one thing that could have happened,
That's so
which is
weird.
going to be weird just because like you get that with like comics and books and stuff. Obviously, that makes sense, but it's going to be
I
weird
feel like
if
they
do
can't.
that.
I
with
feel like they
movies.
can't do that.
Well,
though.
supposedly they're thinking about doing that. I don't know if they mean that they're going to make new movies or what, but that's what I heard.
weird.
Some kind of like insider, some kind of like.
so weird.
And so supposedly Kathleen Kennedy's not happy with, obviously, because that's like all her work mainly, which I would be upset too if that was like I just did 3 movies and they're like, eh.
and an entire
So
Star Wars park,
What
all
I've-
based off the sequels.
true.
The biggest thing for me is just
That's
how
what
much
I've
of a
heard.
letdown after the first movie. Because the first one, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then afterwards, I'm like, no, please stop.
You were subverted.
Yeah, but now that I think about it, though, it's kind of like, do I restart or just leave it as it is and move on from it? Because
I don't
I
know.
was so hyped off the first one. I wanted to see Luke. I wanted to see Han and Leia and all this stuff.
Well, that's the question. So do you
They can't do it
get
now.
rid of the whole thing?
They can't. They can't even
Well,
do it
Han-
anymore.
I don't know.
This sucks. Can't
They
even
could
do
do
it
it.
anymore. I mean, Carrie Fisher's passed, and
Just say, well, okay. So the question is, would you start from Force Awakens again and then move on?
Yeah.
Or would you just restart all of it from?
I need to stop
9.
crying about it. Probably should move on. You know what? I'm not even gonna mention
Would
the
you
Star
7
Wars
through 9?
anyways.
Redo all of them? Just the whole sequel trilogy?
Yeah,
Would you bring anybody back?
Rey, Finn. Those are like my 2 favorites. I'm not a big fan of Poe.
Kylo Ren?
Yeah.
I mean,
And Luke.
oh yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you could do
keep him,
something more. Maybe you could focus more on Luke and Han. Maybe not make Han like a deadbeat guy.
But that's I guess I didn't really think about Carrie Fisher being gone, so I don't think that's even gonna work.
Well,
if they
just
do
have her
that.
die.
Yeah,
She's dead.
but then that's sad for the whole sequel trilogy.
Well,
It makes sense, but anyway,
yeah, it is. But I'm just saying, like, just say, okay,
I'm gonna fight the urge to
died.
complain about that anymore.
Hey, I'm just telling you. So that's what I've heard. Supposedly, it might be turned into Legends, and so I don't know if that means they're gonna try and do
It's
a
just
new.
gonna make me upset. Where it's
7?
just like, you wasted our time. We could have been getting real movies. Like if you do that, how long?
Well, what's
has it
better?
been? Like
What's better?
5 years, 6 years?
Say we got three new movies and they were really good, like a satisfying for you thing. Would you care if it was, even if they had wasted your time, just if you got these, or would you say no, just don't do it at all?
Just don't do it.
Like if you knew
Well,
there were gonna
no.
be 3 good movies.
Honestly, you could. Oh yeah, do it.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, just do it. If
No, they could end up being bad, but I'm saying so.
What if we had like six?
You would
an
just,
entire trilogy of the same story.
Yeah,
that
they
was
wasted
all bad.
Right. Yeah, they wasted your time, but if they were able to bring out 3 new movies, good movies out of it, despite having these other weird ones, I mean, would you still want that?
Just do it.
Just thinking. Just thinking.
You go ahead because I'm just trying to avoid talking about Star Wars
I got
as
one
much as
more.
possible. Go ahead.
And yeah,
Go ahead.
this is a series that's been running to the ground. Worse and worse movies just made for just home release.
Mm-hmm.
Worse and worse stories. Worse and worse
I wonder
CGI.
if this is one I got. This might be my last one.
I think so. Maybe.
What is it?
They recently thought about bringing up. They made a pilot for a TV show because it was kind of going to be the same exact thing. I'm talking about one of the most solid films ever made, possibly some of the most perfect screenplay as far as structure and everything.
Okay.
Tremors.
Oh, I did not have that one.
I didn't think so. Tremors, man.
It's good. You're the one that showed it to me.
It's like, I feel like in most of the ways, it's about as perfect as a film you can get. It's kind of like Ghostbusters level, like, oh, this is just perfectly paced.
Solid.
Perfectly paced, perfectly, whatever. Characters are great. CGI, well, not even CGI. All practical stuff. One shot does not hold up. Only one shot in this movie. Does not hold up. Great miniatures, great animatronics, great acting. I said that. Blah, blah, blah. Great sound design. Anyway, you can keep 1 and 2. 2's all right, but 3 is where it goes off the rails. I like 4. 4 is okay. I do have a spot for 4 because that's the Western one. But after that, 5 is like awful. 6 is terrible, and they're probably doing more.
Most likely.
They're just so bad now, and it's just, they're unwatchable basically. They're like worse than sci-fi original movies, Sci-Fi Channel original movies.
So
basically what they are.
Keep the first one, right?
First one for sure. Oh, the first one. Obviously.
And then
Second
jump
one,
from
you
there.
could keep the second one. I wouldn't mind, but I would. You'll have to. Did you ever see that trailer for the TV show they tried to make? It didn't get picked up, but they brought back Kevin Bacon, and they were going back to the original town, and it was going to be a series.
I remember seeing the sign they drive past.
Yeah. Perfection. And I was like super excited. They filmed a pilot, but nobody picked it up. I think we talked about it at one point.
We watched the pilot.
I don't think they released it.
Oh.
But that's why I was like, I'd love to.
I don't remember.
We need to pull a Deadpool and release that pilot.
Leak it.
Yeah, leak the pilot, and it could be really good. And people see it, and we're like, we need this now. Like, make more, Anyway, I'd love to see the pilot if they release it. I don't know who would. I'm not sure who made it. Sci-fi.
Or if you did like a Blumhouse style where it's a little bit low budget.
Well, like similar to the first one. Yeah. I mean, it's still going to be kind of comedy, but
keep it in the same vein as the original.
But it's just great. Like, it's a movie about. It's one of those. It's like treated it's treated realistic. Like, okay, there are monsters under the ground that are going to eat us, but it also has fun with it too. Like, no one's
doesn't take it so seriously.
Yeah, like there's joking and this goofing up. It's a horror comedy. You know what I mean? But I like a lot of this. And it has things like a lot of problem solving, which I like to see in movies. Like, okay, how are they going to get out of this? Or when they figure out what are the rules. What are you know what I mean? Like, oh, they hunt by sound. Oh, this is how they move. What are they? You know what I mean?
Giant worms.
Like at first they do the whole like Jaws effect where you don't see it and you just use your imagination. Like you see the effects, but not till like near the end you get to see the full monster and it's awesome. But anyway, get back Kevin Bacon, bring back Fred Ward, bring back Michael Gross, even though he's been in every single one, and just he's the gun guy with the mustache, if you know what I mean, survivalist guy.
I think I remember.
Bring him back. Pretend all these other weird ones didn't happen, like in Africa and Antarctica or whatever they were, Alaska. Get rid of those. Yeah. Do it better. Like, this is a series that deserves a lot more. I mean, it's a goofy, stupid monster movie, but it's done so well. It was done well. And now it's just like they're just able to play off of the fans. You know, it's like, oh, new Tremors movie. Okay, great.
You have to watch it now.
You know?
I don't have much else.
Okay.
You show me shotgun some. My last one was Jurassic World, because there's not really a good sequel to the Jurassic Park movie.
I like Lost World, but
that one's alright.
I think that one's underrated.
Yeah.
I don't know why everyone hates on it so much.
The third one has some good stuff, but like Jurassic World and
Fallen Kingdom. And now, what's the next one?
Who knows?
I mean, so yeah,
Maybe redo those. That's just one. I also thought
yeah,
The Mask.
that's a single film though, isn't it?
They had a second one.
Oh, you're right.
The Son of the Mask.
That's true. You got me.
And apparently it's in the same universe. So
Yes,
just like
it is. And
cut
it's
that one
the
out.
worst.
Do it again. Jim Carrey, he can come back. He's
Jump
great.
ahead.
Yeah.
Forget
Yeah.
like that one's happening.
Cameron Diaz,
I can see that.
Jim
Yeah, yeah,
Carrey,
Jim
do that
Carrey.
one. That's why I was thinking like that is probably the ideal. Like when you
not
think
bad.
of the worst sequel to a movie, that's probably it.
Yeah. Although well, that is one. Yeah. I guess we could do an episode on the worst sequels ever made.
That one, and then I was thinking,
What I was gonna say though, would it be like a Dumb and Dumber situation? Because that's like the
Dumb
exact.
and Dumber 2. What was
That's
it
like the
called?
exact situation. So they had Dumb and Dumber, and then they had Dumb and Dumberer, which was like a
That was
prequel.
two different people
It was two
as
different
well.
people.
It's like when Harry met
Oh yeah, when Harry met
whatever his name is, the other guy,
Sally. I don't know.
the other
Lloyd?
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
When Harry met Lloyd.
Which I didn't see, but
didn't
it looked
either.
stupid and not good, so I didn't watch it. And so yeah, so this kind of same. But that movie,
This one feels
but
different.
The sequel
though,
was
than
not
Dumb
good.
and Dumber in a way, where it's like Dumb and Dumber is just like the dumbest
Yeah.
comedy ever. This one's like cartoonish, and it kind of reminds me of like Roger Rabbit in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know. You could do something.
Yeah,
Because The
I
Mask
gotcha.
is also like
because
a
it does have
comic, yeah.
cartoony kind of.
Yeah, you could do something. I also thought The Hangover, because
You may get rid of the 3,
2 and
2
3
and
are
3.
not good. You could like just jump to. I don't even remember the plot of the second one, but I remember the third one was awful.
Second one, they're in like Bangkok, Shanghai.
I just remember
China somewhere?
so like
I never even saw the third one just because I was like, eh.
yeah. So you can skip those two, I guess. You could. These are just, I'm just shotgunning ones I thought of.
Yeah, you could also do like an Ace Ventura, same idea. You don't have to get rid of
They
2,
did do a
just go-
sequel. But
Ace Ventura
they
2,
did. But then they did the
which is
little
good.
kid Ace Ventura, which was not
That
good.
was nobody saw that. Did you watch that?
No.
Okay, nobody. Yeah,
I was like, I ain't gonna waste my
nobody
time.
saw that. But I'm saying like an older Ace Ventura now. Like
Yeah.
he's still like this detective, but like nobody hires him because he's creepy and like old and dumpy or whatever, and he like does nothing. You know, like Jim Carrey is now.
Well, it's kind of true. I love him still.
But you know what I mean? Like
I still love him.
get him back for some. I mean, maybe that'd be a bad idea because it's kind of the whole Dumb and Dumber 2 situation. I'm a little like leery to have him come back.
Comedies
and
are
just be
hard
like,
to remake, I guess. But Son of the Mask was like the one I was like, that is easily the worst sequel I can think of.
I don't know comedies anymore.
It's hard to come by. Comedies.
even-
The only comedies I really like anymore are kind of like Seth Rogen style comedies and stuff, and those are hard to come by.
But
too.
even those are kind of like a dime a dozen now anyway. But like maybe a few of those are good. Like Pineapple Express, I think is like one of the better ones, obviously. But even just like in general, like even ones that are like typically seen, most people say that's a great movie. That's a great comedy movie. But I'm
Yeah.
like, it was okay.
I was thinking,
What was the last great comedy movie?
yeah,
Maybe Death of Stalin, kind of, but
That's a great
nobody
movie.
ever saw that.
Yeah.
And nobody's maybe Tropic Thunder.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and obviously your tastes are gonna change. And it's like, oh, the older films, of course of course you like, like they have a nostalgia about them in your childhood or whatever. But are they better? I don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, is it fair to say that that's Ace Ventura? Whatever is better than some movie that comes out today. I don't know. I think it's funnier, but is it just because of my childhood nostalgia? Anyway, I think that's all I got for that. I don't know if you have any more.
I was just shotgunning some. I was also something came to mind. I remember they did Rat Race 2.
Did they?
They did, and I remember it being because it was like a
Never
straight
heard
to
of it.
VOD. It wasn't like in theaters or anything.
Well, sure. I don't even know.
Do you remember the first Rat Race though?
Yeah, of course.
Kind of like that.
Classic.
Bit.
I like it.
Do you like the
It's
ending
stupid,
where
but-
Smash Mouth plays a concert? It's like the most 90s movie ever.
No.
At the end, they all show up and they're like, "Oh, it's Rat Race."
I don't think Rat Race had a sequel, man.
Thought it did. Thought it did.
All it's coming as was just regular Rat Race.
I guess not. It must have been something
2001.
similar.
What a weird
It was
movie,
a bunch
though.
of people. They're like, "We got to race to get this thing." So.
Strange movie.
It's a good movie though.
I like it. I think it's really stupid.
I bet if I
think it's one
rewatched
of
it,
those,
it would not be good.
I think it's one of those guilty pleasure type movies, though. For me, probably. Yeah, I don't know. You got, I mean, Cuba Gooding Jr. was in it. Seth Green.
What happened to him?
I don't know. Whoopi Goldberg was in it. Oh man.
Do you have any more that you wanna?
Wayne Knight was in it. We were just talking about this the other day too. I don't know why.
You got any more?
Nope, that's it.
Oh,
Okay. Well,
I'm just looking through franchises now.
I mentioned Aliens earlier, but you could do the sequel to Aliens. Like, I want Neil Blomkamp to come do that because that's kind of
What I got?
because what's his name? The original director of Alien.
The Hobbit.
What?
I'm just reading. What's
No.
that? Okay. Not redoing The Hobbit.
No.
I don't. Ridley.
Yeah, Ridley Scott. Well, he was like, because like Neil Blomkamp was talking about making the new Alien movie, and he had all these cool artwork and stuff.
Ridley's
Concept.
like,
He's like,
hate to take.
I gotta make an Alien movie, and he can do it because he's obviously he made the first one, and it's awesome. But now it's just like, you don't make that many good movies, Ridley.
I think like the Alien sequels that we have, there's like some really good stuff in there,
yeah,
but it just
Aliens.
like, falls flat.
That's about it.
Yeah, the aliens look like the CGI, the aesthetic, and all that stuff is top notch. The way it looks, these movies are top notch.
The new ones.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Prometheus, Alien Covenant.
Yeah.
Look so good.
Right.
I mean, aesthetic. I love like the military style, like space stuff.
Yeah.
That all looks incredible. It's just the story's a little poopy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They could have been movies made that didn't even have the Alien name. They
don't-
could have just been Alien movies.
Well,
and
like
been fine.
Covenant, it didn't even need to be
Right,
an alien
again,
movie.
it's just all about the goo.
robot.
Right.
Robot destroys people.
I mean, Prometheus and Covenant are
It's
both
about the androids.
just like
more
the
than
weird,
anything.
where people come from and this weird black goo that does this crazy stuff.
What's
like, just focus
what's
on the
that
weird
one guy
black goo.
called that he like lives on that planet. He's like all white.
The engineers is all they call them. He doesn't have a name. That's just the race of people. So like they're the race of people who started the stuff on Earth, and that's where we came from, and then they're trying to kill us or something, and then the alien, then David messes with the goo and creates an alien, perfects it or something.
And then
And he
starts
drops
the
it. He
planet
goes to their
for
planet.
aliens, yeah.
He goes to the Covenant planet and just like drops the goo everywhere and kills them all. But I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
pretty
then
dumb when you
then
think
you
about
can
it.
breathe in spores and you'll get backbursters, and they're like weird little. I don't even know. Then he has long hair.
got
I didn't think his
crazy.
hair could grow.
Anyway,
And he has a weird relationship with himself. His other
let me do the
android self.
fingering.
They play a flute
That's so
together.
funny. That's the line
Let me do the
in the
fingering.
theater. I literally bursted laughing. I'm like, what? Let me do the fingering.
Well, let's play this flute together.
What? We done now?
Anyway.
Let's outro this.
You know, do we want to do anything else? Just this for now? I mean, I don't care.
Let's just do this.
It's just this. Maybe that was fun.
Maybe it wasn't.
Maybe it wasn't. I sure had a good time, Jesse. Just a good time, boy.
Gross.
What? What's wrong
A
with
good
that?
time, boy.
Good time, Charlie. I'm going a little crazy. It's early. It's not even that early, but I just feel like
It's the weekend. We had a long week. Trying to get used to it.
Oh yeah.
Back to work.
How's work?
It sucks
How's
so
work
bad.
again?
Do you know what we're talking about next week?
Next week.
Do you have anything to tease for next week? Like, hey, that means no. 'cause
Well,
we have
typically
no idea.
I was thinking we're gonna go in between and we'll do news and stuff
So next week's
every
probably
other week,
news.
and then the week after that would be a specific topic. Yeah, news, questions. Get your questions
Send
in
them
that you
in.
want. Ideas for new shows would be great. Would be ideal.
Ideal.
Send in some scary stories that have
Halloween.
happened to you for October. We'll probably do another one of those if we have enough. Maybe we'll do a small segment if we only have a few. Either way, send in some scary things that happened to you. Maybe supernatural, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe just very strange, unexplainable.
Either way, thanks for watching.
If again, what you got
Again?
a lot. You got to like.
Oh,
You've got to subscribe. You've got to take direction.
yes, sir. I will.
Hit the bell notification. Hit
that bell. Come back. Subscribe. Do what you gotta
I feel like
do.
an idiot saying that.
I know.
Because I'm like, I don't want to be like all these.
Okay, well,
other
I'm not gonna say that.
YouTubers, but
Thank you for watching.
Oh, fine.
If you have
I'll just
watched
say
this
it.
far, if not,
Yeah.
we will. I mean,
you're
you're not
watching-
listening, but if you did, watch us again some other time.
yeah. Again, if you're watching audio, what am I saying? If you're watching this, there's an audio only that has a lot more information, a lot more talking that you can go check out. It's a longer form version. If you're listening to this, there's a video, and it's going to be fun and edited in a fun way
Funny.
by Jesse.
This is so funny. You should be seeing how funny this is right now. It's
great.
Do you see how funny
Or at
this
least
is?
watch the first part and the very end, because he gets a little lazy in the middle.
It's pretty hard
It's
to
all
like.
good.
Sometimes
No, I
when we
know,
get
I know.
serious, it's like, what do I do?
Right. Yeah.
There's
I
nothing
mean, sometimes
to really
there's nothing
do
we can
here.
edit. I get it. But no worries.
That's it.
That's all. Thanks.
See you guys next.
We're the Filmsharks, and this is
This is a thing.
the end.
Goodbye.
What a great show we have.